All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second game today for the Premier League men. We have the Darwin Buffaloes, and they are coming up against Waratah. Again, round 3 of the TIO NTFL season is dedicated to our umpires, who without them we would not have our game. If you'd like to get fit, get paid, have fun, and get into the game, head to umpire.afl or get down to training on Tuesday or Thursday night. Remember, you can play one day and umpire the next. We'd like to make special mention of our officiating umpires today. Our field umpire, Mark Noonan, Thomas Manning, Matthew Rawsthorpe. Our boundary umpires, Kelly, Mackenzie Campbell, Leonie Richard and Darian Blair. And our goal umpires, Melissa Teal and Elizabeth Rawson.
Good evening, footy fans, and welcome to TIO Stadium in Darwin for this round 3 TIO Northern Territory Football League clash between the undefeated Darwin Buffaloes and the winless Waratah Warriors. Stu Davis bringing you the commentary for this game, and I'm joined by long-time St Mary's assistant coach and ex-AFL journeyman Andrew Wills. Welcome, Willsy.
Hey Stu, how you going, man?
Good, thank you. So Willsy, do the two clubs' records and ladder position give an indication of the type of contest we can expect tonight?
I wouldn't say that. I think a lot of teams make several changes from week to week, and I think you expect a pretty close one tonight. I think Waratahs will be able to get their first win on the board, and that breeze is pretty tricky, favouring the right of screen, so wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see most of the play down that end of the field today.
Okay, so we've got Buffaloes heading towards the airport end. Bounce goes up. And we'll have a restart right from the start. So William Clark in the ruck for Buffaloes, and the big American Alex Aricio for Waratahs. Abe Anker's back in the team for Tars this week. Buffaloes force it forward with a kick off the ground, but tied it up back there by Harrison. And Anker's into the action early, kicks inside the forward half, but Mark Spilt down there. And Buffs bring it away with a kick out to Shillabeer on the outer wing, and in for the Buffs this week, a big in for them. Kicks into towards the centre half forward area. Ball off hands, Chris Williams gets a hand pass across. Snap around the corner from Cameron Stokes is the first goal of the game.
Buffs are on the board early, and Stokesy read that beautifully just off the pack. His man went in and didn't impact the contest, and he was able to just ease out the back and get a nice little goal to get things started.
Yeah, you mentioned the win before. The previous game was unbelievable, really, wasn't it? We had 9 goals to nothing early, and then Saints looked like they were going to win the game, and didn't happen.
Yeah, well, being involved in it, I think I didn't get hit at half time, to be honest, so I didn't see the first quarter and most of the second, but yeah, I think we thought we had him early in the last quarter and we just ran out of petrol ourselves.
Yeah. So here's the ball up again. And Clark wins that tap down, but it's O'Donnell who clears for Tars out of the centre. Fumble in the half-back line there. And the ball spills forward where Clark, the ruckman, gets a kick inside forward 50. And a good strong mark there by Nick Blake over the top of Joey Anderson. Joey Anderson at centre-half forward this year, been a bit of a revelation for Buffs. Kick goes out wide to Rakawasa, who inboard to Keeley. Rakawasa, first game I think for Tars last week, was pretty handy.
Yeah, Tars just trying to control the footy a bit here, try and set something up from half back, but that's not going to help it turn over straight to Joey Anderson.
Anderson by hand out to Stokes, who comes inboard, and now the other Anderson hand pass misses the target, and Tars bring it away again. Rakawasa, and now anchors again, hand passes out wide to Joel Stevens, kicking down to Godden, who looks like he's started forward. Well tackled out there, and umpire Lance Hutt adjudicates that one as holding the ball on the half-back flank.
Deemed he had prior, which he probably did. It was borderline, I reckon, but yeah, the umpires made a call there, and hopefully they stick with the similar interpretation throughout the game.
Jared Stokes receives the short pass on the outer half-back flank, looking for options forward. Goes down the line in the end and hits up Joey Anderson on the outer wing. Anderson long in towards centre-half forward. A contested ball comes to ground. And Colhane gets the kick in. Working back is Stevens. Can't take possession. Hand pass comes out to Anchors again, all over the ground early in the game. And he hits up a target out wide here. And that's Brodie Carroll back in the side this week. I thought he wasn't going to be in the side, but he's a handy inclusion for Tars, that's for sure. Not on their team sheet, actually, so that's interesting. That's probably why I thought he wasn't going to be in the side this week.
I was looking for a number 3 on the sheet we've got in front of us, and there's no sign of anyone.
Yeah, Brodie Carroll, of course, played a number of games with NT Thunder this year and was injured late in the year and missed the first couple of games. Got a boundary throw in. Maricho in front. Gets it down to Moore, a new player inside this week. Ball's contested there and a quick kick comes forward. And the mark's taken by Cantilla, Kim Cantilla. Change of jumper this week, wore number 1 last week. It's in 33 this week. It's a bit of a lottery sometimes. Runs around and pulls it back, and that's an excellent goal to level up the scores at 1 goal apiece on the TIO Stadium scoreboard.
Yeah, beautiful kick from Cantilla there. I think probably that pocket's one of the toughest to score from on this ground, and without running around and bending it back, I think you really struggle to keep it from going across the face. So well worked and a beautiful kick, and it was just well done from the Tars players to get the ball forward quickly. Sometimes you can't, do the perfect pass or the perfect handball. You just got to hack it out of the contest, and sure enough, Cantilla was out there on his own and finished off nicely.
Yep. Umpires round, of course, this week. Important that we recognise the job they do, the contribution they make to the game. We've got umpire Andrew Peach to come in to ball this one up.
Notice that first bounce, they went for the bounce, but since then they've been throwing it too.
Same to Ruckman, and Buffs win this one down. Stokes with a quick kick out going forward. Ball comes to ground deep in Buffalo's forward 50. It's a scramble for the ball there. Keeley picks up, but unable to break clear, and we'll have a ball up about 35 out from the Buffalo's attacking end.
Most of the players in around the ball now too.
Yeah, Maricho in front, gets a free kick for holding against Joey Anderson there. Kicks out wide, and the mark's taken by Anchors. He chips back inboard to Godden. Godden picks up on the first bounce, but the hand pass misses the target. Armat with a quick kick inside, looking for Jared Stokes, uses his body well, gets to the fall of the ball, and then a chip kick in, finds Chris Williams inside the forward 50. And he'll kick from about 45 out on a pretty acute angle, but the wind could help it come in from out there, Willsey.
Yeah, I reckon just sort of right goalpost, maybe even a metre outside, and just let the wind ease it through. Certainly should have the distance from there on today's form so far.
Kick comes in, looks like it's going across the face, and it's a minor score for the Buffaloes. Sees them hit the lead by that 1 point.
Couldn't see where that started from the angle we are on here, obviously, but yeah, he seemed to just leave it hanging out there, which was interesting.
Tim Mosquito kicking in, goes to the outer side and finds Kiranua on a long lead up from half forward.
That's where teams have got to be better. Like, there's a lot of time between the point being scored and the kick in, and the guy was just able to take an uncontested mark. It's not really good enough.
Kiranua chips in on the 45 to Anchors, having about his 6th touch already, and he chips in, finds O'Donnell, quick hand pass across, and Kiranua again working out the defence.
Loose players everywhere out here on the half forward flank.
Cantilla kicks forward to the big ruckman Auricio. He tries to get around. He's probably taken on more than he can, but manages to get the hand pass out to Gooch, and his kick bounces out of bounds on the half forward flank.
Buffs did well to close that one down then. He's he needed to give it quicker or go back and get a long kick into the forward line.
Yeah, know your capabilities. Hits this one over the back to Anchors, who gets a hand pass out. Simpson on the run, but that's drifting across the face and will trickle out of bounds next to the right hand behind post for a boundary throw in. Waratah's attacking end.
Some great work in the ruck there from the big fella, so he's redeemed himself already. But yeah, as you said, you've got to know your limitations, and that's his go, not taking on small fellas and trying to run around them.
Throw in now. Richo seemed to get a push there, and umpire's seen it that way, and we'll see how he goes at a set shot from goal from about 20 out. He's marking a divot in the territory, doing all the right things, Willsey.
Yeah, he looks like he's got his run up all sorted, which is a good thing. A lot of players don't do that, and they tend to have a different trot in or run in every time they shoot. So he looks like he's got a routine and he's going with it. Not a laydown was there from there with this breeze, I reckon, but he probably should kick it. Brendan Mincook just making his way onto the field, his first time this year. Oh, he sprayed at the big guy.
Yeah, it's gone right across. In fact, it's missed everything. It's out of bounds on the full on the left-hand side. Yeah, Mincock actually played a senior game for NT Thunder this year as well, so he's a good in for Waratah's. Good prospect, young kid.
He's a ripper kid. I've got him at Hailbury Clontarf there, and he's doing year 12. He's nearly finished, and he's just a ripper of a young fella. Yeah.
Kelvin Williams bringing it in down the line. Auricio's there again, but no mark taken. Ball spills to ground. Picked up by the big ruckman for Buffaloes in Clark. He's tackled. Ball spills free, and the umpire's found a free kick. It's going Waratah's way.
Yep. Joel Selwood special, just shrugged the shoulders and got the too high call, so well played.
Anchors inside, a beautiful pass, finds Brody Carroll on the lead.
Absolutely beautiful kick. You'd like to be on the end of a few of those, and as you said earlier, Anchors is knocking up, getting the ball early on. Probably up to 7 or 8 already. Again though, tough kick from even there. You're probably kicking from 43 or so. It's no gimme at all. No one on the line, which is interesting too. So I'd be getting there because it's a big chance to drop short.
Left foot comes in. Looks like it's just going to sneak over the line. Goal umpire says that's the case, and Waratah's regained the lead with that goal from Brody Carroll on the TIO Stadium scoreboard. There, 2 goals, and Buffalo's 1 goal, 1-7.
Yeah, so in the previous game, obviously most of the goals were scored at the other end, but you could definitely score goals at both ends. So that's a really good kick from there. And yeah, it seemed to make the distance by only a few metres, but no one was really going for it on the line, which was interesting. But yeah,
Yeah, they didn't set up very well there, and you'd think someone could have had a jump and might have got a hand to it.
Yeah.
Riccio and Clark again. That's not Clark this time. In fact, it's David Paul who's come into the ruck. Quick kick out by Carroll into Tar's forward half. Scramble on the ground. Kelvin Williams picks up. Quick hand pass out. Kicks scrambled out wide where there's still no clean possession. And I think that ball's stuck in there, and it'll take a throw up from the umpire to clear this one out.
Yeah, after a sharp start, Tars have sort of settled in nicely now, and they've obviously got the lead, but they've got more of the play at the moment as well.
Riccio gets the tap this time, but Stokes cleans it up. Hand pass over Antonio James there. Didn't really dispose of it properly, but Jalen Clark cleans up. Out to Eldridge. Eldridge kicks long into the forward half. Scrambling back, Waratah's back there. And a tackle as he's handballed over the line, but James Waratah pretty lucky to get away with that one,
yeah,
possibly.
One of those ones where they could pay it, but you're probably happy they don't. Like, he was under pressure and didn't have much else he could have done. So occasionally they pluck one, but that one was pretty fair enough, I reckon.
Yeah, good call. Boundary throw in, and Shillabeer doing the ruck work this time for Buffs. Gets the tap down. It's in close, but Tar's able to get it away. Minkolt takes the mark on the half-back flank. Kicks in short. Unable to take that one, but a good block there, and Tar's doing a heap of work. Timmy Mosquito gets a hand pass out towards the boundary line, and it's rushed over for another throw in.
Both teams very physical and hard at the ball, which is good to see. And yeah, this game's going to be a bit of an arm wrestle for a while here before we see which way it's going to go.
Throw in falls a bit short, but the ruckman able to get there for a contest. Hand pass comes out from Moore to Rakawasa over to Mosquito, who finds Joel Stevens under a bit of pressure there, but takes a good mark and switches wide to the outer wing, looking for Godden, who marks well overhead. Swings around on that left foot inside, looking for Jacob Shaper, but it's past him, and it's Kim Cantilla running in, but his kicks offline again.
Some really nice play to use his body and open the space behind him, but he had a bloke on in the goal square there who I think will be a little bit narky that he didn't hit him on the chest. It would have been a certain goal. Disappointing end, really.
Let's bring it in again, and Eldridge takes a mark out here under a bit of pressure.
Looking for a bit of 50, but I think that was fair enough. He might have put a bit of gravy on the fall to the ground.
Eldridge, seeing what's on offer, decides to go down the line looking for big David Paul. Punched away by Riccio from behind. Bowles takes it off hands there and picked up by Michael Graham, who kicks inside and finds Daniel Simpson just inside the 50. He's not looking to go for goal. He squares it to the top of the goal square. Punched away. Minkolt's there. So too is Bradley Stokes, who tidies up. And passes back to Kelvin Williams, who goes long looking for Johnny Anderson. He's doesn't take the mark under pressure, almost front on contact there, but allowed to play on. And Tar's inside the 50 through anchors, avoids a tackle, kicks long towards the goal, but it's swinging across the face, and it's allowed to bounce and run out of bounds again.
Yeah, interesting, the front on contact. I reckon that was probably there, and I think the player marking it, which was probably Johnny Anderson, thought it was going to be there too, but not this time.
Yeah. Still got to take them when you got the opportunity.
That's right.
Throw in now David Paul and Riccio. Paul gets the tap down. Hand pass comes out. Bowles gets the hand pass away as he's tackled. Eldridge slung after he got rid of the ball. It's all good according to the umpire. The kick comes in, but Stokes back there able to take the mark, and chips out wide to Patrick Bowles now, who's got a bit of space out on the half-back flank. He goes short with a worm burner looking for the big fella Shillabeer. Probably not the best option of a kick for him, and it trickles out of bounds in front of him.
Yeah, the Tars players had manned up nicely on Buff then, and he really had no one sort of obvious to kick it to, so the throw-in's not a bad result. They can set up again and see what they can do from there, but it was some good defence from Tars that time.
Boundary throw in right on the wing. David Paul and Auricio again. Ball comes to ground. Anderson gets a hand pass across. That one's blocked, and bit of pinball there. Tars able to pick it up and go forward now through Waratah. And anchors down in the forward pocket, kicks over the shoulder, running into the goals. Cantilla pushed as he tried to take possession, and 2-on-1 Buffs able to work it away and kick it out towards this grandstand wing, but Waratah's got the numbers. Brady Carroll did well across to Joel Stevens, but that kick's not going to get there, and punched away by Jalen Clark.
Yeah, well played there by Clark to get it out of bounds. I think he nearly could have marked it, but better safe than sorry. Get it out of play and they can man up and try and springboard into attack from back there, as opposed to potentially giving up another forward 50 to the Tars.
And we throw in again. Auricio gets a hand to it. But wrapped up pretty quickly in there, and we'll have a ball up just outside Tars attacking 50. Auricio hooks that one back. Joel Stevens picks up left hand across to Godden, who kicks it high towards the 50 line. Mincock almost takes a good mark there, but it's cleaned up by Jalen Clark. Back towards the wing looking for Schillerbeer. Good work in front by Keeley and Simpson. Doesn't realise the pressure he's under and gets tackled when he had an opportunity to get rid of it before.
Yeah, Cammy Stokes doesn't miss you with the tackle, so blokes have got to realise you've got to give the first opportunity you get under pressure, give a handball, not take them on, and see what happens there.
Fumble there from Jonas Nicky, but he managed to regather and get a hand pass across again. A tackle, and it's Andrew Moore this time who'll take the free kick right in the centre of the ground. Chips out wide to O'Donnell, who has some space and runs on. That's an ordinary looking kick going inside. Kelvin Williams is in front, but it's going to beat everyone over the boundary line.
I reckon you've been kind with the ordinary looking kick there too. Absolute shocker would have been a better way to describe that one, but we've all done it off the side of the boot. They live to fight another day with a boundary throw in inside 50.
Yeah, not too much damage done.
I reckon Tars would be happy with this scoreboard with the breeze that Buffs have got. They've actually had a pretty productive quarter to be in front.
Yep, Mitchell kicks it into the top of the square.
Oh, he's kept it in.
And Jay McGrath is down there, who was able to pick it up. I think that
Jordan Briston from the Buffs has tried to catch it on the line as opposed to just concede the point. And yeah, obviously if you mark it, it's all good and you save a point. But if you don't, you potentially cost a goal, and that's what's happened.
I think the punch over the line was the money play, wasn't it?
But yeah, so 2-goal lead to Tars at the, I think the win's definitely still favouring the other end by potentially 2 or 3 goals. So they've had a really good quarter, and led by Anchors, he's been terrific in the middle.
So back in the centre, Auricio and Clark. No one decisively gets a tap there, and falls at their feet and stacks on the mill, and we've got another ball up.
Interesting with this 6-6-6 rule that even after that first bounce that they don't come charging in. When before the rule was introduced, that would have ended up with an extra 6 blokes in the stoppage.
Yeah. So ball spills out here to Keranua on the left foot, and his kick hits the post.
Very nice try, but yeah, just missed. Try and lock it in here and get another score.
Waratahs have done most of the attacking. They hold a 13-point lead just at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. He goes out wide. Chris Williams gets on the end of that on the bounce. Hand passes over the top. And Buffs have got an opportunity to mount another challenge here. Comes through the centre. Jared Stokes running onto this one. Timmy Mosquito comes to meet him, but he passes him like he wasn't there. Right, ducks another one. Has one bounce. Kicks towards goal and just misses to the left-hand side. Pretty good piece of play by Stokes, and deserved better in the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the player was, but he thought about going up to Stokes before the kick came, and he didn't. And then when the Stokes didn't mark it, he then went, and by that stage it was too late. One of those calls you have to make as a defender, and on that occasion I reckon he got it wrong.
Mosquito chips it into Godden, and Godden back to Mosquito in the goal square. So He kicks short again.
Just going to try and possess the ball a bit and run down a bit of time against the wind here, I reckon.
Akawasa gets it out wide, looking for Gooch, who's unable to take it. Good work out there, and Jared Stokes gets another kick in long, and a strong mark taken there by Brodie Foster. Don't know much about this fella, Brodie Foster.
No, he's not too sure about him either, but he had a bit of a mismatch there on Mosquito and ended up taking a pretty easy chest mark.
So he'll have a shot for goal from about 35-40 out, 45-degree angle.
Buff need one here, so he really needs to put it in. I think
that's going to cross the face as well.
I reckon same fella before too, was it? Put it across or not?
No, it was Chris Williams before, but same sort of kick, but that one's hit the behind post, and it's a kick in.
Which tells you the wind's maybe not as strong as I think, but or the kicks have just been starting way out.
So that'll amount of nothing. That's the siren to end the first quarter in this TIO NTFL round 3 match at TIO Stadium. It's Waratahs 3-2-20 leading Buffaloes 1-2-8.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel, really feel, together be real, together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
Come and see it.
still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Back here at TIO Stadium in Darwin, teams just breaking from their huddles and getting ready to start the second quarter. Pretty even first quarter. Buffs looked like they had to jump early, but Tars controlled it pretty well after that, Wilsey.
Yeah. Look, Buffs looked sharp in that opening goal, and everyone looked up and about, and then Tars just wrestled the momentum away from them and got 3 of their own. And I reckon quarter time into the wind, which is worth. You look at the flags over there; they're blowing. It's not just a little breeze. Definitely worth 2 or 3 goals to the right of screen. So they've won that quarter by 4 or 5, I reckon, in reality. But goals can be scored at both ends, obviously. So they need to step it up again this quarter and try and make the most of that advantage they've already got.
So umpire throws the ball up to start the second quarter. Mauricio gets the tap over. Mitchell unable to take it. Bowles is in under there. Spills out to Anchors again. Kicks inside 50. And strong overhead mark on the lead there. Taken by Jay McGrath. And he's just inside the 50. He'll be kicking from about the 50-metre line. And as we've spoken about, the wind should help this one get the distance, you would think.
Yeah, he's definitely got the distance in him. Just left goal post and just let the wind ease it across the face, straight through the middle.
He started that right and it's staying out there, and it's going to miss everything.
Yeah, it had the distance, but yeah, started out there and never really gave it a chance.
Kelvin Williams to do the kicking in from that out of bounds on the full. Kicks long down the line, and more strong from Tars underneath that one, takes the intercept mark.
Nice grab. It's where the Tars have got to try and leave a bit of space there for the big guys, and Buffs have done well to block everything up in there.
Kick comes in towards the forward pocket, punched away. Kelvin Williams tidies up with a hand pass. Quick hands come out wide, but missed the target. The big American Mauricio's tackled, ball spills free. Kerenua on the left foot. Oh, hits the post.
Second poster for him for the day. That was a great little effort.
Looked like almost a goal out of nothing there, but just held its course instead of drifting away.
Yeah, the big ruckman got caught a bit then, but it wasn't really his fault that time.
Antonio James receives from Kelvin Williams. Kicks down the line here, looking for Schillerbeer. That ball comes to the front and Eldridge tidies up. Kicks inboard. Beautiful kick to Cameron Stokes, who chips over to Bowles. Bowles looking inside. That's not the best kick, but gives Colhane the chance to run onto it. He's quickly followed by Waratah, who tackles. The ball spills out. Anderson on the ground, can't pick it up. Still in dispute, and Tars get the hand pass out. Culhane on the end of that, kicks in towards the forward pocket and off hands and over the boundary line.
Just back to the half-back line. The Eldridge, beautiful front and square, just read it off the pack, and then a devastating kick through the middle. They really should have done better with that forward 50 entry.
Yeah, if you can hit that target on the 45 coming out, it gives you the opportunity to mount an attack, doesn't it? Riccio wins this tap down. Moore gets a quick kick. Oh, hit solidly out there was Gardner.
A little too high.
And Mosquito this time, the recipient of the free kick. He goes on the left. Out wide. Finds O'Donnell. He chips inside to Rakawasa. Rakawasa down the line. It's gone a bit too far. And the mark's intercepted by Briston out there. Briston goes wide again towards the boundary line. A good strong mark in front by Chris Williams. Looks inside, looking for Culhane on the lead. Goes over everyone's head there. Joey Anderson comes in, meets Riccio, but ball spills out to Gooch, who tidies up with a hand pass. Joel Stevens now with the opportunity running through, taps it in front of himself. He's tackled as he grabs the ball. Umpire's hovering, but says no opportunity to get rid of that one, and it'll be a ball up.
Yep, good call. No real chance to get anything done before he was tackled, and he looked for a second like he was going to ping him then, but no, ball up was the right call.
Picked up again by the big ruckman Clark. He pumps it inside 50. It's all Waratahs back there. Brody Carroll, quick hand pass across to Mosquito, who fumbles, but ball spills clear. Jared Stokes comes in, and that's Anchors again tidying up. Riccio on the end of this one. Big left-hand hand pass out wide is pretty good. Moore hesitated, but able to shrug the tackle, and Tars come in again. That's Nicky sticks out his big chest and takes. It's Josh Savika takes the chest mark on the half-back flank intercept mark. Chips out wide now, looking for Bowles. Goes over the back. We've got Anchors again. It's a long kick in towards the 50. Briston unable to mark, punched away. Moore in front. Quick kick around the corner.
Oops.
Oh, Antonio James misses that one and gives the opportunity, but Eldridge is back there quickly. Hand passes in front of himself coming out of defence. He had nothing else to go to, and it's worked out pretty well from his mate, about 50 metres out of that. Gooch is coming back now in front of the boundary line here. Manages to take possession. Kick inside, misses the target, but tied it up on the bounce. And the chip kick in by Michael Graham finds Mincock, who hits up big McGrath on the lead. His kick looking for Godden was unsuccessful, but he butters up with a tackle. Buffaloes with the numbers work it out. Savika can't take that ball clearly. Tackles on the rebound though. Jalen Clark picks up on the left foot, manages to get it out of Buff's defensive area. Spills over the top. And O'Donnell there gets a hand pass to Mosquito. Back to O'Donnell. He's in some trouble here. Fumbled the ball. Umpires found a free kick for a high contact.
Yeah, Cammy Stokes, he acknowledged it too when the whistle went. Don't think he meant it, but he just made a bit of contact with him.
Came through like a bit of a freight train there.
Yeah, he's a solid lad, but yeah, I think he, one of those ones he couldn't avoid it and put his hand up.
In fact, it's Michael Graham who's getting the free kick. He's gone the Tory.
Gone the barrel.
Ball comes to ground. It tars a chance, but it spills over for a minor score.
As much as I love a big torpedo, you're better off just dropping it 10 yards out. They can't rush it behind and you get a chance at kicking a goal, but they're worth a crack every now and then.
Jared Stokes out of defence straight up the middle. Mark not taken, but Chris Williams does well off hands and kicks long. Here's an opportunity for Chillabeer. He takes a mark, doesn't like the attention that he got taking the mark.
You really should lose the ball there. He might have got some attention, but you got the ball, you got a shot at goal. Why would you risk losing it?
Only 20 metres out, straight in front.
He initiated this brouhaha, for want of a better word, Stewie, after the mark. Kick the goal and then tell the bloke you weren't real happy with the treatment that you might have got, but all's well that ends well. He hasn't lost the ball, so he gets a shot at goal.
Well, I don't know what's happened here, but it's Chris Williams that's getting the shot at goal. Oh, there's a bit of blood, I think, on...
So that might be why he's so angry. He definitely got a clip. Well, he has too. His eyes opened up there, so, you know. But still, having said that, his actions risk turning it over, you know. And
that's right.
It's all right to be a bit upset if you wore one high, but very risky.
So Chris Williams, the Buffaloes, directly in front. He chips at it, and he's missed that. That's a pretty bad miss.
It's a costly one, I reckon. They needed that. Get them within a goal, or not quite a goal, just 8 points, but they needed it, and they need to lock it in here now and try and get another shot on goal.
Mosquito chips in, finds Keranua at half back.
Two ruckmen are getting a little bit feisty over here on this wing.
Out wide looking for Godden, but it was Isaac Seaton-Kernoth over the top who managed to spoil and see the ball out of bounds.
David Paul and a big Auricio just exchanging pleasantries out here on the wing. A couple of not too happy with each other's closeness, I think.
David Paul got the front position that time, and Auricio...
Oh, and he's going the other way. You don't see that very often in the seniors. He was happy to roost at Waratah's way.
Plays on quickly now. Hand passes across to Jonas Nicky. Kicks inside, but that's a poorly directed kick, and Rakawasa tidies up for Tars. Chips out wide to Godden. And he's now looking for Keranua down the line. That's too long. Goes over the head of everyone. And ball's taken across the line for another boundary throw-in.
Pretty low scoring encounter here, so every goal is going to be crucial. Teams need to manufacture something from a stoppage and try and get on the board.
Ruckman do battle. Richo gets his hand to it again. Jalen Clark in there, picks it up. He's tackled immediately. The ball spills out. Seaton-Kernoth in there, unable to take it cleanly. Patrick Bowles does, gets a hand pass forward. But that's dribbled across the boundary line once again.
Yep, 20-30 metres down the track. He had nothing else he could have done, so really clean hands and just got it going his team's way, which in a game like this, you just got to do it. If there's nothing clearly on, just get it going your way.
Richo in front again, gets the tap straight down in front of him, but it's all Buffaloes in there. David Paul, the ruckman, gets on the end of that one, hand passes across, but Mincolt is the recipient. In towards Stokes, who chips in, and the mark's taken by Chris Williams. Sees Anderson free at centre half forward directly in front of the goal, and Johnny Anderson will go back and looks like he'll take a shot from about 35 out directly in front.
Just classy from Cammy Stokes. He just, he was under pressure, but he just composed himself and hit a target inside 50, and a lot of blokes would have just blazed away, but
and Chris Williams also was the recipient from Stokes, and he saw the loose player and unselfishly straight across to him.
Yep. Let's hope Anderson can get him on the board here. They need one.
Anderson on the left foot. Looks like it's hung out to the left. It has, and we still haven't had a goal this quarter. A couple of points each, but Buffs have had most of the attacking in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, so the breeze obviously is still there, but it's not as strong as perhaps it was earlier in the day.
Yep. Auricio goes to the mark there, over the back. Jalen Clark takes possession, kicks in inside. More quick hands, doesn't find the target, and again that's tapped out of bounds. We've had a number of stoppages. I imagine that's the way it'll go for the rest of the game. The pressure's pretty hot in there in the contest.
Yeah, both sides are mounting up nicely and not allowing loose blokes all over the place, and it makes for some tight contested footy.
The throw in now. Richo gets it down again. Moore this time. Evades one, gets a hand pass over to Keranua. Hand passes back to Moore. He's gets another hand pass out wide to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tumbling kick inside, and Godden uses his body well, gets the ball over the back, avoids the tackle, hand pass across to Anchors running into the open goal. And there's a goal to Tars, a little bit against the run of the play, I think. Willsey, Buffaloes have had most of it the last 5 minutes or so.
Buffs had a few chances to score and could only manage points, and Tars quick play, some good play running down with the ball rather than blazing away. They used it by hand. And, yeah, big kick inside 50. I think Calvin Williams kind of hoped he'd get a free kick for a push, and it wasn't forthcoming. Godden used his body nicely and a nice little handball in for an easy goal. Just like that, they're 3 goals up, and Buffs have only scored a goal, which came at the probably 1 or 2 minute mark of the first quarter.
Yeah, so as Wilsey said, 3 goals up on the TIO Stadium scoreboard. It's Waratah's 4-4-28, leading Buffalo's 1-4-10, about the 12.5 minute mark of this second quarter in this round 3 TIO NTFL clash. Ball goes up. A beautiful tap down there from Clark, and Buffs mounting the attack forward. Ball's players everywhere in there, but comes out. Clark gets the kick in, and it's Waratahs who pick it up back there, but tackle's made and the umpire's found a free kick. And it's going to go Buffalo's way here to Patrick Bowles, who will take the kick from deep in the left forward pocket at the Michael Long centre end. Bowles' kick on goal is always on the narrow side, missed it to the left, and yet another point.
So I'm not sure of the rules, Stewie, but I've just been told from the background that Brodie Carroll, who wasn't named on the original team sheet and was out there, has been taken off and he's not allowed to continue. He's not allowed to play because he wasn't on the team sheet. What that means for potential ramifications after the game, I'm not sure. But yeah, insurance-wise and just with not being on the team sheet as the game started, he won't be able to take any further part in the game.
So that means they're playing one short for the rest of the game, presumably.
Well, one short rotation definitely, but obviously they've still got 18 out there, and with the shade now moving in, it's not as hot as earlier in the day. So hopefully that doesn't cost them the game.
Anyway, the action continues. Ball comes out wide and dribbles over the line. So yeah, Stephen Strubens was the other one that we had on our team sheet before the start of the game, and he was a valuable player for him last week. Kicked 4 goals against Saints, but he'd been missed. And Carroll, obviously an important player, a co-captain of the club, unable to take any further part. Ball comes to ground out here. Moore getting a fair bit of the ball, gets a hand pass across, and O'Donnell running down the wing, chips inside, and good mark taken in front there by Keranua. Swings around. He kicks across the ground looking for Joel Stevens, unable to take the mark. He's first to recover. He's tackled without the ball almost, but umpire says no, play on. Comes back to Keranua, who kicks inside 50 now, but that's out in front of McGrath and goes out of bounds for boundary throwing.
Yeah, I watched the umpire then, and he put the whistle to the mouth and then thought better of it, called play on. So one of those ones that could have went either way again, and you don't mind it if they let it go, I reckon.
Yeah. If it's an even contest, that's fair enough. Boundary throw in. Knocked forward by Aricchio, and Anchors runs onto it, but the ball just trickles away. Unkind bounce, and Jared Stokes cleverly picks up the ball and drives it away, looking for Jalen Clark out here. Comes over the top to Joey Anderson. Haven't called him too much today, but that's a deep kick into the forward half. Shillabeer with the bandage around the head now was caught behind, and it was Keeley who brought the ball out wide.
Waterboy nearly got on the end of that one.
Yes, would have caused some issues. Not that it does in rugby league. In the grand final, Waterball got hit, and that's fair enough apparently. But in our game, of course, we're a bit more sensible than that. It's a free kick if they interfere with the play. Moore again receives this time a high tackle there, and he'll take the free kick. Cameron Stokes doesn't agree. Thinks that that's an untidy return, which
it was one of those ones too. I don't reckon he meant it. Like he went to throw it back and it slipped out of his hand. Like, you can't do it, but he didn't mean it. So if the umpire saw him actually throw it, he might have give him some leeway because you could see it slipped out of his hand, but you just got to be more careful.
So
within scoring range now, and this will give them a nice little lead going into half time with probably 4 or 5 minutes to go in this quarter.
He plays on quickly instead by hand to Ankers, who was under pressure. Ball is worked away, and Ankers on the end of it again. That's a fantastic finish. Class player, Abraham Ankers.
Yeah, I reckon his first quarter was possession-wise probably a bit busier, but he's just come into the game there with 2 nice little possessions, and that's a beautiful finish.
Yeah, he's kicked both of Tar's goals this quarter.
Yeah, and Buffs now really need the next one. It doesn't have to necessarily be this quarter. Obviously they'd like it, but they've got to make sure they regroup at half-time, and if they can't get the next goal this quarter, make sure they get stuck in after half-time. But, you know, probably 4 or 5 minutes at least still to go, so they really want to get one on the board now.
Umpire Patrick Rawsthorne to do the honours this time. It's Auricio and David Paul to contest this one in the middle. Umpire Rawsthorne looks like he'll throw it up. And David Paul wins this one down, but it's Tars on the end of it. O'Donnell hand passes to Godden, tries to duck the tackle. It's called high. Advantage is played, and then a free kick downfield for some late contact.
Joey Anderson not happy with some treatment that the big fella might have dished out, but not going about it the right way, and has given up another shot on goal.
Abe Ankers is putting his hand up for this one. Why wouldn't he?
I reckon Mitch O'Donnell's been really good this quarter out of the middle as well.
Yeah.
Some long penetrating kicks, and he's had a lot of the ball.
So Ankers has won the argument, and he'll get the kick.
So you got it in him, Stu?
Well, it looks like he's kicking from right. The mark's right on 50 here, but I'm sure the ball lobbed about 10 metres further in than that. But
yeah. I reckon with this breeze he'll get the distance, so accuracy is probably the issue.
Close to the man on the mark, gets it high. It's not going to make the distance, and comes off hands and over the boundary line.
A couple of nice little stutter steps on that run up, and it almost like he pulled out of having a shot towards the end and just dropped it 5 or 6 metres short to give the big fellas a chance. But they get another crack at it from a boundary throw-in, which is better than a point in my opinion.
Yep. So in Tar's attacking half, ball goes up. David Paul gets the tap over the back, but plenty of numbers in there again, and the ball's not going anywhere from there until the umpire balls it up.
Well, we almost had the old, you know, the Buffs players are on the right and the Tars players on the left, and not much happening.
Again, it's in tight at the bottom of the pack. Stumbles out now, bowls in there, forces it out. Big David Paul, and
have another crack.
McGrath fumbles it over the line, and another boundary throw in. 20 minutes into this second quarter, round 3 action in the TIO NTFL competition.
This is where the Tars players have got to try and get on the move and try and manufacture something humming through.
David Paul wins that tap down, but Mincock was on the bottom of it, but tackled straight away. Quick kick comes out from Buffs towards the 50 line. Keranua on the end of this one, but unable to bring that one back, and it's out of bounds on the full. Missed by a long way in the end, about 10 or 15 metres around from the point post.
He broke clear and sort of steadied himself and looked like he was a chance, but yeah, sprayed it well right.
Those Tiwi boys are usually pretty good at those running towards the boundary line.
Yeah, I reckon the crowd would have enjoyed it, and he would have maybe dished out a few high fives on the way back.
Kelvin Williams to bring it back in. Comes down the line this time, looking for Shillabeer. He's
just bullied out of it, wasn't he?
Muscled out of it, yeah. It was pretty good mark by Keeley. He drives it back in the forward 50. Mincock gets it on the bounce, but unable to take it more. Hand passes over the top, but Buffalo's able to clean up with a hand pass out of there. It's worked pretty well to Eldridge. Quick hands to Williams. Williams down the line, and David Paul over the top, unable to mark it. Keeley again cleans up, and siren goes just as that one was drifting out on the full, but pretty good quarter for Tars. Only 2 goals in it, and Tars kicked them both. So at half-time on the TIO Stadium scoreboard, it's Waratah 5-4-34, leading Buffaloes 1-5-11.
We're here for when the heavens open. and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet, and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be zero.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's high gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks. I don't know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's make your job easy.
Time to escape, 'cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Wedding or birthday is coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family? Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
Darren Walsh and Amos Wachira, and our goal umpires, Tony Miles and Jim Teal.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium for this round 3 clash between Darwin Buffaloes and Waratah Warriors. Of course, round 3 is umpires round in the NTFL, where we recognise the contribution they make to the game. Opportunities there for anyone that wants to get involved in umpiring. Of course, it's not just Premier League, it's all the grades. We've got something like 275 registered umpires, but always need more. So if you're looking for a run, there's actually 42 umpires who also play NTFL footy at different grades. So opportunities are there if you want to get involved in umpiring. They are recognised as the 15th NTFL club. They have a good social atmosphere and do some fitness work, earn a couple of dollars, and really help out the game in the top end. So happy to recognise the umpires this week and every week, of course.
Especially for sort of teenage age sort of people. Nice way to earn a few dollars and get out and about. It does get a bit sticky, but good for your fitness. And if you're not playing and you still love the footy, then what better way to get involved and earn a few bucks on the way?
Exactly right. So siren goes to get us underway in the third quarter. Riccio up against Clark. Clark wins the tap down. Anchors tidies up at the back, but is tackled immediately by Jared Stokes. A good tackle.
Oh no.
And no,
I thought they were going to turn it over then. Eldridge went in a bit hard to get the ball back.
It's a free kick to Stokes. He's overcooked that kick a bit and falls over. Chris Williams, beautiful one-handed take. Hand passes back inside to Jared Stokes. He's tackled as he kicks, goes to the top of the goal square, offhands, hits the ground, and Tars seem to have the numbers back there, but it's being locked in, and we'll have a ball up a couple of metres out from the right-hand point post in Buffalo's attacking end in the opening seconds of the third quarter.
Early days, obviously, but some real intent in the Buffs in that first centre clearance, and they've gone on with it. Hopefully
Richo wins that tap down to Moore, who clears away. And an intercept mark is taken by Schillerbeer.
And this is one of those ones, he kicks this, they're all up and about, they've had a good start to the quarter, and you watch them come from everywhere. If you miss it, the momentum just gets gassed out a little bit, and you just got to hope you get another opportunity quickly. But the big fella's got a good hoof on him. I reckon he's a big chance here.
Kick looks pretty good on the way, straight over the goal umpire's hat, and that's the first goal of the second half, and badly needed one by Buffaloes.
Outside 50, sunk the slipper, and it never looked like missing, That was just dead centre the whole way, and he turned around and gave the Tars crowd a little bit of a spray. They must have been getting him a little bit. He enjoyed it. But yeah, Buff definitely up and about, and it looks like we've got a game in our hands.
So on the TIO Stadium scoreboard, it's a 17-point margin to Waratah, 5-4-34 to Buffalo's 2-5-17. Umpire Lance Hutt do the honours here. He's just a boundary umpire the previous game. That ball goes up. It's Clark again who wins the tap down. Jared Stokes cleverly brings it away, delivers inside 50. Looking up there for Brodie Foster, but the ball goes over the boundary line in front. And so out near the join of the 50-metre arc and the boundary line on the St Mary's side of the ground. Ball comes in. Riccio reaches over from the back, taps it forward. Moore picks up, hand passes to Anchors. Anchors runs it out of half back. Kicks long down the wing to Kiranua out on the outer wing. He looks inside on the left foot, comes back towards centre half forward. Godden in front there, takes a strong mark. He swings on the left immediately. Kicks inside, looking for Cantilla, unable to take the mark, but picks it up on the bounce and is tackled solidly. Ball spills out to Eldridge, who evades one there and then drops the ball as he's running out. Umpire says that he received contact in the back there.
Tars player under a bit of pressure here, getting off the field. Looks like he's got a sore neck. The trainers are helping him off. Not sure who it is from this angle.
Oh. Anyway, play continues across to Kelvin Williams for Buffaloes. He chips back into centre half back. Jared Stokes has had plenty of touches early in this third quarter. Kicks out wide now, looking for Culhane. Unable to mark that, spoiled over the top by Joel Stevens, who picks it up on the bounce. Hand passes inside to Cantilla. Cantilla's kick chopped off.
Ooh.
Williams doesn't take the mark. It's picked up by Tars Michael Graham. Snapshot around the corner, and that's a good answering goal to the first one from Buffaloes in the quarter.
Beautiful little snapshot there. Effectively playing one short as this fellow made his way off the field, but great little snap. Calvin Williams probably should have done a bit more with the catch, and yeah, took his opportunity. You get one or two of them a game as a rule, little half chances, and if you take them, it makes for a good game.
It's Jordan Gardner that's being helped off the ground there. Doesn't look particularly good, and of course they're already one short on the bench, Willsey. So
yeah, they'll be hoping he's just a bit sore. I'm not sure if it was shoulder or neck. He seemed to be sort of favouring holding that side of his right side of his body, but the trainers will do their best, and hopefully if he's any good, they'll get him back out there health-wise and get him going.
So restart in the centre. It's O'Donnell again. Hand passes across to Moore, who's getting plenty of the ball. Kicks inside, finds Michael Graham. Hand pass across. And Tars coming forward, anchors again on the left foot. Chips in and finds Cantilla, yes, sorry. So
nice little left footer there from Anchors as well. It didn't look too natural, but just exactly where the forward wanted it, just in front of him, and hopefully Cantilla can finish off the good work.
Kick on goal looks pretty good, but has hit the post on the left-hand side. Thought earlier in the day the wind might have helped that one drift back in, but held its line pretty much.
Sort of seems as if even when there's no wind, you've got to allow a little bit of that drift in that pocket, and yeah, he was a bit stiff there.
So Buffs bring it out wide. Clark out there in front. Couldn't take the mark, and it spilt to ground. He butters up with a tackle on Joel Stevens, who breaks free eventually, gets a hand pass across. Aricho picks it up, back to Stevens. Chips inside to Rakawasa. Rakawasa kicks long to the goal square where Godden going for the mark, received front on contact.
Well, it can't be a goal. It's either a mark or it's not. It was touched through when he received the front on contact, so it can't be a goal. And he will kick a goal, but not sure what the umpires are talking. Well, he obviously hasn't played front on contact then, because
so it was touched over the line.
Yeah.
Anyway, Buffs bring it back in, and it's Briston in the back pocket who takes the short pass. Well, it's a wobbly looking kick forward, but the mark's not taken. Jalen Clark butters up. Quick hand pass out. Jared Stokes back to Jalen Clark. Hand pass out wide here to Antonio James, who kicks long down the middle. Ball bounces over the back. Anderson in there dispossessed, and the ball's caught in underneath a couple of players, and we'll have a ball up just forward of centre towards the airport end of TIO Stadium.
A really critical time for Buffs now. They need to get the next one.
Clark uses the leg to advantage there, takes the ball out of the ruck contest and kicks it forward. Ball comes wide. Mosquito cleaning up there. Hand passes inside to Simpson, to Aricio, to Rakawasa by hand, but unable to hit the target there. Ball's bouncing around under the pack until it's
it ain't coming out of there, Stu.
Dragged in with about 4 people on top of it.
Yeah, both teams trying to get the ascendancy in this quarter, and Buffs really need a goal, and Tars are doing well to stop that happening.
Tapped down at the feet by Aricio. No clear possession in there. Chris Williams trying to ruck and maul it forward, but it's held up, and we'll have another ball up by umpire Patrick Rawsthorne. Aricio there just made front position and was dragged out of the way, and a pretty obvious free kick, I think.
Yeah, manhandled out of the way. You can't do it. Fair enough, free kick.
Kick goes out while Joel Stevens unable to mark. Mosquito out there was tackled without having possession of the ball, and he'll mount another attack for Waratahs from the outer wing. Looks in short, finds Daniel Simpson on the lead. He wheels in on the left foot. Kicks long to centre half forward, and Andrew Moore there at centre half forward under a bit of pressure. Umpire said he was held in the marking contest, and he'll take the free kick from about 40 out on a slight angle.
Big kick this one, it makes it a 5-goal game, and a long way back from Buffs when they've only kicked 2 to the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. So really big kick for Tars and crucial for Buffs. Hopefully they'll be hoping he misses, of course.
He's had a fair bit of ball this game, and this will reward the work that he's done. Kick looks pretty good. Goal umpire says that's good enough for me, and so that's another goal for Tars, and it pushes their lead back out over 5 goals.
Yep, 31 points now, and when you've only scored 17 to the 9-10 minute mark of the second quarter, it's worrying signs. So Buffs really need to get their centre clearances right, get the ball into that forward 50 and start hitting the scoreboard, or this game's slipping away fast. I wonder if they're aware of the situation with the player who took the field and probably technically shouldn't have, not being on the team sheet, whether that plays on their minds and they're thinking about it, or whether it makes no difference whatsoever.
Well, it hasn't affected them too much so far. They're 5 goals in front, so anyway, we'll start again. O'Donnell doing the grunt work in the middle there at the bottom of the pack. And he's rewarded with a high tackle free kick. Back he chips on the 45 inside and finds Jacob Shaper. Shaper goes wide again looking for Gooch. Gooch takes the ball on the bounce. Left footer inside forward 50, and a strong mark taken there by Jay McGrath coming out from the goal square.
Very good catch. He had Kelvin Williams breathing down his neck and he nearly got a hand on it, but he'd already clunked a beautiful one grab mark. Again, just one of the crucial kick. He kicks this, and we don't want to call things too early in the game, but it's hard to see Buffs coming back if he slots this one through.
We've got one tonight that was from on the goal line, courtesy of the Buffalo's defence keeping the ball in play. That one doesn't look like it's going to be a goal. He's started at left and it stayed out there, so there's been some opportunities gone begging from both sides really, but if Buffaloes could kick 2 or 3 out of the next 4, you'd think that they're still in the game. Simpson takes the intercept mark out there, chips it back inside, and there's Keranua standing by himself about 25 out from goal on a slight angle. So I think Buffs players were probably looking to run forward thinking they'd have possession, but got turned over, and they got caught on the turnover, and Keranua was found by himself in space inside 50.
Such a crucial part of footy these days. If you do kick a point, obviously everyone quickly gets a man and sets up, and if you can get another shot on goal straight away, it's a massive, massive thing. And he's hit the post twice already, and I reckon this one's going straight through the guts, Stewie.
Kicks on the way now. Goal umpire's not moving much. That's straight over the head and straight through for another goal to Tars. So Buffaloes came out, kicked the first goal of the quarter, but Tars have kicked the last 3 since then. So they extend that lead on the TIO Stadium scoreboard to 8-7-55, leading Buffaloes 2-5-17. So a 38-point lead when you've only scored 55 makes it pretty hard.
Yep, that's it. Low scoring game, really, especially compared to the one previously.
Yeah.
And yeah, Buffs, same thing at the start of the game. They came out all guns blazing, got a quick goal, and then nothing for the rest of the quarter. Same thing's happened here. They got their first goal straight after the half-time break, and now they've allowed Tars in for a couple. So really, really important that they get the next one now.
Umpire Hutt throws the ball up. David Paul doing the ruck work, but Simpson cleans up for Tars, kicks the ball forward. Cantilla unable to take the mark, and Stokes comes in, one-handed pickup, dishes it out by hand towards Eldridge, who's tackled immediately. Briston comes out of defence, kicks along the line looking for Anderson. A good spoil from behind by Nick Gooch, Waratah captain. He's got the clamps on Anderson tonight pretty well. Anderson's been good the first 2 rounds.
Absolutely, he's all over in there, and it was a beautiful kick, good spot, but Gooch is right up his jumper and good fist out of bounds.
boundary throw in comes down to Seaton Kernoth. His hand pass hits the opposition. Unfortunately, Kelvin Williams up early, but gets the punch away. Ball comes to ground. More quick hands out. Joey Anderson there this time gets the hand pass out the back to Briston. Briston goes down the line. There's not much there for Buffaloes. Ball comes to ground in front of Simpson and in front of Godden and runs over the boundary line.
Good effort from Shawnee Armour there. There was 2 Tails players around, and all he could really do was spoil it out of bounds, which is exactly what he did. If he didn't do that, easy Tails mark, and they're attacking again.
So the Rucks compete again from this boundary throw, and David Paul looked to get in the back of Auricio, not that way according to the umpire, and Tars go forward again. More hand passes out wide to Stevens. Stevens goes over the top. That's a perfectly weighted kick into the waiting arms of Jay McGrath, and McGrath, who had a set shot a couple of minutes ago and missed, gets this one from a fair bit closer, and you would think he'd be a good chance of extending that Waratah lead once more.
Yeah, beautiful kick coming in, just far enough over the defender's head that he got an easy chest mark, and well played by the forward. You know, he could have made a lead out to a spot where he couldn't hit him, or he could hold his ground and just allow it to sail over the top. And I'm not sure who kicked it to him, Stu, but it was a beautiful kick.
Yeah, it was Joel Stevens, young
nice
fella.
Kick.
And McGrath makes no mistake this time, and Waratah's kicked their 4th goal in a row this quarter, and extend that lead beyond 7 goals.
Yeah, so 44 points now, and yeah, I think that obviously Buffs haven't put the cue in the rack. They're still having a go, but Tars are playing some nice footy, and yeah, Buffs just haven't got any answers at the moment.
So Joey Anderson's just come off the ground on the interchange. I wonder if Coach Matty Campbell's thinking of a positional change there to try to get him in the game a bit and try to get Buffaloes going again.
Yeah, with one of those ones now where you might as well just try some blokes in different spots and see how they go. You might unearth a new forward or a new bloke in the middle that you've never seen in there before. You might as well now throw the magnets around and have a go.
David Paul up uncontested that time, gets the tap down and cleans up himself. Tackled after he picked up the ball, didn't dispose of it correctly, and Tars pick it up quickly, go forward. Simpson takes the mark inside 50. He's looking to pass off and chips it into the centre corridor and finds Mitch O'Donnell about 40 out directly in front.
He's got a big boot on him too. I don't think he'll have any issues with the distance. Just a question of accuracy now, and another nail. I think, Stu, if you can slot this one, I think we're definitely looking at all she wrote.
Yeah. So O'Donnell now kick on the way. Looks like it's swinging left, and minus score only. Of course, coming into this game, Buffaloes were undefeated. Waratahs hadn't won a game, so early in the season, of course, and maybe Buffaloes pretty happy with the draw they had first up to get Tiwi not up and running yet. And oh, that's a poor kick. It's gone over the boundary line, and pretty well sums up Buffalo's day so far.
Yeah, no, good for the comp, you know. Saints have had a loss. Tiwi's had their first win.
Yeah.
Same happening here by the looks of it, and the competition's nice and even. Nightcliff have the opportunity to be alone at the top, I guess.
And Districts, of course, yet to win a game. Grand finalists from last year. Buffaloes bring this one out of defence. Keeley goes up, but unable to take the mark, but O'Donnell picks up. Hand pass to Stevens, but the ball was not clear. O'Donnell in there again. Gets a hand pass inside. He's tackled by a couple of Buffaloes players, but the ball rebounds and over the boundary line just by the interchange bench for Buffaloes down there.
Some good aggressive play from Josh Savika there, just putting his body on the line, and what Buffs need, they need a bit of a lift from somewhere, and he's taking the bit between the teeth. We got
the field umpire not happy with that throw in, and gives the boundary umpire the opportunity to have another go, and so we can get a fair contest between the ruckmen. David Paul has a swinging arm that misses, but no harm done there, and the ball comes out where Simpson's tackled. Moore gets a quick kick inside towards the 50. Patrick Bowles there goes in hard. Moore had his head down and will receive the free kick. Wasn't too much in that, I don't think. Moore seemed to bounce off pretty well, but free kick nonetheless. Kicks inside 50. Godden on the end of that does some clever work to regather, kicks in, and there's a man standing all alone unmarked there, who is Michael Graham, I believe. That's who it is, yep.
Yeah, there's an interesting one back here on the wing. I think both players just going for the ball. It's probably play on, you know. The other fella got in a bit quicker and got the footy, so...
Yeah, just looked like when they were going at the ball from the umpire's angle, I think, that contact would be higher. But,
yeah, well, that's footy sometimes, but that's all good.
Moore's kick on goal has drifted across the face and a minor score, so another wasted opportunity, but the scoreboard suggests that it's not going to hurt them too much at this stage.
But Buff's really struggling now to even get the ball down inside their 50. All the players have cleared out. They're up trying to get in the action.
Moore over the back again, gets a hand pass out to Simpson, who's tackled, and umpire says he had opportunity and didn't dispose of it correctly, so that's a free kick to Buffalo's Chris Williams.
He just needs to take something on now, you know, like you're behind, and that could be it, the big Tory that didn't quite come off. But
ball slips over the back, but Waratahs are first there. Good tackle by Stokes, sees the ball cleared. Mosquito manages to work it out towards a teammate there. Big Clark picks it up and drives it forward, but it tumbles over the boundary line for a boundary throw in Buff's left forward pocket.
Yeah, they really need to get something out of this. Just get a couple of blokes off the wingers or the half forwards, just charge them through the contest and hoping to come up with something. You can't just stay stagnant and expect something different to happen.
Boundary thrown this time. Nathan Matt Watkins in there took his eyes off the ball, appealing to the umpire while play went on, and enabled Tars to bring it away, but the kick hits the big ruckman in Clark, who chips out wide now, finding Eldridge.
Look at the Tars blokes though, they're beautiful. There's about 8 or 9 of them in the defensive 50, just zoning their little area.
Really set up in defence.
Yeah, there's nothing on.
Jalen Clark gets the opportunity, has an air shot. Chris Williams picks up and is tackled, ball spills out, but as Wilsey suggested, Tars have the numbers, and it comes out again, but only as far as Shillabeer for Buffaloes.
And he proved early in the quarter he's got this one in him, I reckon, so he'll be pretty keen to repeat the earlier dose of putting it straight over the umpire from this far out.
Pretty much exactly the same spot, I think.
Yeah.
Comes in now. It's a pretty solid kick, but he's hung it out to the right. It's a minor score only.
Another good effort, but yes, points aren't the answer at this stage of the game.
So we're 21 minutes into this third quarter. Mosquito chips in to Godden, who hand passes back to Mosquito, jogging through.
All too easy.
Yeah. Kicks long down the centre of the ground. Buffaloes take first possession there. Anderson's tackled, but incorrect disposal, and Tars grab it quickly, play on. Joel Stevens has the opportunity, flicks over the hand pass, and running into the open goal is McGrath, who's tackled as he kicks, but manages to get it on the boot and get it through for Waratah's 10th goal.
Some real intent in the middle of the ground. The Waratah's tacklers, there was 2 or 3 tackles on the same bloke there, dispossessed the ball, turned it over, and quick thinking player threw it on the boot into an open forward line, which is the exact opposite to what's happening down the other end with players everywhere. And yeah, an easy goal. He almost took a step too many there. Great chase from, was it Stokes? Jared Stokes chasing him down, nearly got him, but yeah, another goal to the Tars and another nail in the coffin, for want of a better phrase, Stewie. I was trying to think of something else, but I had nothing.
So Joe Anderson's back on the ground in the middle for this centre bounce. So a bit of a change there. Nathan Matt Watkins has gone to centre half forward, so just trying to change things up a bit, Buffaloes. Ball goes up. Clark gets the tap down. Shillabeer in there also, and a hand pass comes out from Seaton Kernoth. And just over the head, Timmy Mosquito does the clean-up work. Hand pass out to Godden, coming out to this grandstand wing. Kicks it in front of Keranua there, but the ball's punched away by Antonio James and over the boundary line. Braden Culhane down there, kicked 6 goals last week and 4 in the first round, I think. Hardly called his name this week.
I don't think I have heard you say his name, Stu, to be honest.
Anyway, Richo gets the tap down, Stevens in there. Joe Anderson comes in hard and picks the ball up cleanly, gets a hand pass out. The ball's worked forward, good hands in there by Moore to Godden. Godden missed the target there with the handball, and that ball's forced over the boundary line.
Almost was on the full, I reckon. The Tars players was calling for it, but I reckon it was off his teammate's boot. Probably a buff free if it was at all. Oops.
Boundary thrown again. Looks like that's fallen a bit short. Umpire lets that one go. He's happy with that, but Eldridge tidies up, kicks down the line, but Moore again chips in and takes the mark. Goes across the centre now, where Rakawasa's free and takes the mark inside the centre square. Left foot goes long towards half forward. Simpson in front, takes the mark on his chest under pressure from Anderson. That's a good strong mark. Mate had the best position and made the most of it.
Good catch, beautiful kick into the centre half forward there from out here on the wing, and the Buffs defender I reckon needed to put a bit more effort into spoiling. Pretty much just allowed the guy to take the chest mark, and I think it was Karanua who's hit this fella another goal to Tars on the way.
Simpson's kick, yeah, he's missed it out to the left again. There's been a few out that side. So they've had the bulk of the scoring this quarter, but as the siren goes, 5 goals, 6 for the quarter Tars. So 3/4 time on the TIO scoreboard. It's all one-way traffic pretty much. It's Waratah 10-10-70, leading Darwin Buffaloes 2-6-18.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
So we can feel forever, yeah, feel together, real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing could ever bring me
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
come in and see us.
Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more. to family violence.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
So back here at TIO Stadium, the final quarter of this TIO NTFL round 3 match about to start. It's umpiring round, as we mentioned before, and umpires have done a pretty good job tonight, Wilsey, so far.
Yeah, no howlers from what I've seen. They've been pretty good, and that's what you want.
So players just getting into position here. Mauricio again has rucked all night. He rucked the whole game last week. That seems to be the way he goes about things, and doesn't get a chop out at all. So it's Mauricio up against William Clark as we start the final quarter of this round 3 match. Clark over the top with the fist, punches it forward, but it's O'Donnell first to the ball there, unable to pick it up. Ball's under a pack of 3 or 4 players, and we'll try to start again early in this last quarter. Waratah with the last 5 goals of the third quarter have really blown out the lead here in this match. Clark gets the tap forward and hacked off the ground there by Ahmet Watkins, and fortunately fell into the arms of Shillabeer, 25 out directly in front.
You could argue fortunate, he's playing in front, he's doing the right thing, so yeah, that's what forward should always be, in front, and
reacted quicker, I think, and got there first. So it's an ordinary looking kick off the side.
I think he likes him outside 50. He sinks the slipper in. That one was a bit of a stab, and he's missed it to the right. Full back enjoyed telling him about it as well.
Yeah, they've had a couple of chats tonight. Chip in comes to Anchors. He comes out wide this side, and Tars bring it down the wing again. Mincolt takes a good mark overhead in front of Savica. Chips inside here and finds McGrath out on the wing. And Mincolt's run on again, but ignored there. McGrath goes longer down the line, and the mark's taken at the back by the ruckman Clark. Hand passes off. That's a pretty poor kick, and McGrath takes the intercept mark, kicks back inside, out to the flank to Keranua. Keranua chips in looking for Cantilla, and Cantilla takes the mark.
Big ruckman's on, no.
Might be out of his distance, I think, here. 50 out, but he's going back looking like he's going to have a shot. Just crosses the 50 line now, kicks to the top of the goal square, Ball comes to ground. Jared Stokes looks to be the first to ground there. He's tackled but manages to get the hand pass out to Bowles. Bowles hand passes, but it's fumbled there by Stokes, but tidies up again. Chips inside another drop mark out wide there. Managed to butter up and get the kick in. Ahmat Watkins fumbles. O'Donnell gets it back in towards the ruckman. Auricio unable to mark, punched away. Ball comes to ground. Auricio does the second effort tackle there. Pretty good work. But the ball bouncing along outside. Kelvin Williams picks it up but unable to keep it in. So
impressive effort from the big fella there. He competed well for the mark and brought the ball to the front as you would want a big forward to do, or ruckman, and then followed up with a nice tackle. And then even the third effort helping the ball out of bounds, the Buff player out of bounds. Really good effort.
And as I said before, he's been on the ground the whole night doing the ruck work, so big tank obviously. Tars work it forward again. Sorry, work it out again. And Moore picks up with a quick kick across the goal. Bounces out of bounds in the right forward pocket.
Yeah, he's working tirelessly. Is he going to make it over for this one? I'm not sure he is. He might have had enough just now, but he's slowly making his way over. I don't reckon they're going to throw it out that far though. A lot of players have worked their way into that back 50 now for Buffs, which is good.
Throw-in falls a bit short as Willsey predicted, but play's allowed to go on. Picked up there by Simpson with a right-hand hand pass across, finds Mosquito back inside to Keranua, who ducks back, chips out wide, and anchors out there, kicks to about 30 out, and the mark is taken by Andrew Moore, whose name we've called a fair bit tonight. Willsey's had a pretty good game.
He's had a good one, but it was just all too easy in the end. Like Buff seemed to have a lot of numbers back inside their defensive 50, but mark about 45 out. You would expect that they would be sort of hard to find a bloke loose, but McGrath had a little 10-metre circle where he could have dropped it anywhere, and he hit him in the chest.
So Moore it is, straight over the goal umpire's head, and another goal to Waratah. That's 6 in a row, and the first for this last quarter.
Yeah, nice kick straight through the middle, and yeah, Tars going on with it. I think they smell blood, and they're going to try and sort out as much percentage as they can while they have the chance. After losing the first couple of games, it's always nice to get a big win on the board.
So yeah, as you said before, Willsey, a couple of teams undefeated coming into the round have lost so far, and a couple of teams who were winless have won, so the competition tightens up. Makes it interesting.
Yeah, it moves everyone within 4 points of each other, and as I said earlier, with the exception of Nightcliff, who could potentially go 3 from 3, it evens everything up, with Wanderers having a draw last week as well.
So a bit of blood on the knee here of Moore, I think. He's been told to get off and have it seen to. And he's replaced in the middle by Michael Graham, who has had a pretty good night doing him. Umpire threw the ball up before Graham got in position.
Got in the middle, that's a bit harsh.
Tars bring it out, Buffaloes bring it out. Eldridge inside 50, kicks a worm burner into the forward pocket, and Gooch tidies up back there, but his kick's chopped off by Brodie Foster. Foster drives it long towards the top of the goal square. Shillabeer almost marks there under pressure, but spills out, and Anchors is the first there, picks up cleanly and drives it out wide to the outer side in front of Rakawasa. Keeps the ball in front, but eventually trickles over the boundary line just forward of centre towards Waratah's scoring end in front of the TIO Stadium scoreboard.
A bit of the sting gone out of the game now, and some players trying to get easy kicks and some still working hard. Young Brendan Minkle looks like he's come off with a bit of a shoulder problem, which is not great for Tars.
Looks like he's had it before. He's got some strapping on there, but
it almost looks like it's out as he's walking, which is not ideal too. Might have popped it out.
Anyway, the ball's being called back.
Something's
the wing here.
Something's happened up the other end. Surely if it's
goes back to where
it's a Tars kick. I'm confused too. Sorry.
Anyway,
watching.
It's a free kick to Tars at centre half back.
If the ball's down this end and it's a Tars kick, wouldn't it be where the ball is?
Normally that's what you'd think, but I don't know what the circumstances were there. Anyway,
I missed that one too.
Keeley chips it in and finds Waratah there, and Shillabere doing the muscle work on the mark.
Yeah, he's got a bit angry pills are out for the big fellow. He just needs to put a lid on it, because there's nothing to be gained by giving away a free kick or getting reported at this stage of the game.
Exactly right. So Mosquito on the outer wing drives it towards half forward, where Mauricio, the ruckman, contests, unable to mark. Anchors is forced over the boundary line and will have a throw in out in front of the St Mary's clubhouse. Waratah's leading by 57 points at the 7-8 minute mark of this final quarter. Whistle's gone there. Looks like a blocking free kick going the way of Mauricio from Waratah's in the ruck contest.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one. I'm not sure if the wrong bloke touched the ball maybe, or a block.
David Paul has been swinging his arms a bit in the ruck contest. Maybe that's what it was. Anyway, goes short here and hits up Godden. Godden inside. Cameron Stokes coming back with the flight of the ball.
I think his issue there was he didn't have his eye on the ball. Otherwise, no, he's got the ball.
He's won the free kick, which is interesting. But anyway, it chips across to Chris Williams. Williams plays on immediately, looking out wide here for Jonas Nicky, who takes the mark. Nicky ignores the short lead, goes longer for Jalen Clark. Ball bounces in front of him. Some clever work from from Mosquito. Hand passes across to Keranua, sorry. Keranua inside 50 this time. McGrath works his way to the front, butters up with a hand pass, but Buff's able to clear it out. But that's not going to hit the target. Williams does well to get possession in the end, and ball's scrambled over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Yeah, I like the way Buffs are still having a crack. They haven't turned their toes up completely, and they're still having a go. Things haven't gone their way tonight, but they're still having a crack even at the late stage of the game with the scoreboard as it is.
Ball comes in now. Mauricio forced under it. And Godden takes possession, breaks away and drives long with the left foot to the goal square, but Kelvin Williams tidying up back there. Williams chips out wide now and finds Cameron Stokes. Stokes chips back in, a dangerous kick inside. Jared Stokes managed to get a fist to it, and Buffaloes look like they're going to be able to get out of danger here. Williams across the face of goal again, and Cameron Stokes out there, chips it out wide and finds Johnny Anderson. Anderson chips into Sean Ahmad on the outer wing. Pretty stagnant though, not much happening ahead of him. Kicks down the line, and that ball's forced over the boundary line once again. So Buffalo's not able to get too much fluid movement as this game's gone on. Tars have closed them down pretty well, I think. Boundary throw in. Mauricio in front. Gets the tap down. Cantilla kicks inside 50, and Godden got his hands to it first, but was tackled and the ball spilled out over the boundary line again for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, as I said earlier, the sting's gone right out of it now, but both teams still having a crack, and a couple of players searching for the calf stretch, which is a sure sign that they're cramping up.
It's been a pretty warm day.
Absolutely. Much rather be playing now than at 2:30 though, Stu.
Exactly right. It's probably the best time to play. Anderson with the left foot comes down, but that ball's chopped off by Tars in the half-back area. Chip kick comes in. That's Anchors on the end of that one. Drives in looking for Keranua, through his hands over the back. Moore butters up with a hand pass back to Keranua. Keranua chips in on the left. Ball bounces inside where Stokes cleans up and drives the ball back. Gooch under that one, goes over the back. Williams gets his hands to it, manages to get a hand pass out. Seaton Kernoth back to Williams, who chips out wide and finds Culhane. Culhane on the wing, kicks high inside 50 looking for Foster, unable to take the mark. Under pressure back there. Jalen Clark battling for the ball. Looks like he's been moved forward from defence to try and change things up a bit for Buffaloes. Matt Watkins picks it up, hand passes forward, but tied it up back there by Keeley. Mosquito receives the hand pass and chips out to Godden. He kicks wide. Didn't see Joey Anderson coming on from the interchange bench, and so disadvantaged Tars a bit there. And but some good pressure from Keranua on Anderson. Sees the ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, one of those ones where you think you've got a loose man, and next thing the bloke from the boundary line has him covered. It's just unlucky. It happens a few times these days with the amount of interchanges that everyone makes.
Yeah. There's the boundary throw in now.
Beautiful throw in that one.
Mauricio gets his fist to the ball. Hand pass chopped off from Savica. And Cantilla is said to have been caught holding the ball. Anderson picks up, chips inside. The big fella Shillabeer couldn't take it cleanly, and Keranua now hand passes over the top to Mosquito. Hand passes forward to Cantilla, running through centre half forward, inside 50, takes one bounce, kicks on goal and misses out to the right hand side.
Some good zip there from Cantilla, and a couple of Buffs players just knew they couldn't go with him, so pretty much gave up the chase, which was interesting to see, but couldn't make the most of it with a major to finish off.
Kelvin Williams again with the kick-in duties, goes straight down the centre of the ground. Looking for the ruckman, but finds the opposite number in Aricio. Hand passes across to Moore. Moore around the body, kicks into the forward pocket, and the mark's taken there by McGrath, coming out on the lead.
Another nice mark in the inside 50 from the Tars. They've looked dangerous. Obviously they've had a lot more opportunities tonight than Buffs, but a couple of their big forwards take some nice marks and some good finishing.
So McGrath's only will kick from about 25, but the angle's pretty difficult. He's got 3 already tonight, so
yeah, tough angle, but one of those ones you'd like to think you're going to kick it.
Kick on the way now, looks pretty good off the boot, but just goes across the face of goal for another missed opportunity from Tars. Been quite a few of them. You'd think that the margin could have been even greater if they'd been on target a bit more. Some of they've missed a number of set shots. Really?
Yeah, well, 23 scoring shots to 9 now, but obviously Buffs have only kicked a couple, so both teams have been a bit inaccurate.
Eldridge receives from the kick in, chips into Jalen Clark.
He's had a crack all night, Jalen Clark. I've liked the way he goes about it.
Yep. He drives it long to the outer half forward flank. Shillabeer out there in the contest with Keeley. That's been a good contest all night. And on this occasion, Keeley took possession, got the hand pass out, but the umpire said not quickly enough, and Shillabeer rewarded for his tackle with a holding the ball free kick.
That'll make him happy tonight. He's been a bit antsy with the umps, so he'll enjoy getting a free this time.
Chips in short to Armat. Armat on the left foot drives it in longer now, but no mark being able to take. And a quick snap off the ground goes across the goal. Oh, and that's O'Donnell doing the tidy up work, but with an untidy kick, sees it over the line on the full.
It could be worse. It's not if you're going to kick it on the full, it's not a bad spot to do it there, right? It's stuck in the pocket. But
umpire's bringing him back a bit. Antonio James with the kick, but
he's within range now. I'm not sure it was that close where it went out, was it? Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Be a nice kick from there, though. The ball, although you look at the flags now, the wind has dropped right off.
Yeah.
Still a tough kick from that pocket.
Ooh. Kick's on the way. He's got a fair piece of it, but he's missed it to the near side. So another minor score. So we're 16 minutes into this final quarter. There's only been the 1 goal kicked for the quarter.
Yeah,
and that was by Tars.
Buffs have kicked their 2 goals in the first minute or 2 of each half, and they just haven't been able to find the score after that.
So Michael Graham takes the mark, chips inside here, and Tars the opportunity to drive it out of defence again. Goes long, but Briston's in front there, drops the mark that he probably should have taken. Eldridge picks it up, tried to hand pass underground, but that was unsuccessful. Simpson eventually gets it out wide to Moore, who drives it forward. Stokes gets pushed off the ball by Godden. And umpire decided that that was illegal. And
I think the big ruckman gave him a secondary push there after Godden had got away, and that's cost it. It's come back.
I thought the whistle was a bit late. Must have been the case. Yeah. Bradley Stokes out to Bowles. Bowles plays on quickly, drives it in forward. But Tar's doing the mop-up work. Keeley again back there has had a pretty good night. And Seaton Kernoth.
A bit of a falcon there, Stu, sorry.
Yeah. And
classic case of thinking you'd had it in your hands before you did, and it's gone straight through and bonked him.
So Buffaloes bring it away again, but chopped off back there by Rakawasa, who drives it in long, and it looks like Godden, who's taken the mark there in front of Bradley Stokes, and we'll go back for a shot on goal.
I actually reckon it might have been Kirinyua who cleaned up on his falcon work just moments before then and sent that one inside 50, Stu, but beautiful kick that time.
Yeah, and again in space, Mark really not under much pressure. So Sam Godden walks in, and not much purpose in his approach to goal there. And
he's such a beautiful kick in general play too. I don't often wonder why blokes don't go back further and get a bit of momentum up when they have a shot at goal. They walk and then they lean back and they tend to spray it.
So it's gone out on the full, and Williams brings it straight up the middle, hitting Cameron Stokes at centre-half back. He drives it long. The big fella David Paul takes the mark uncontested, chips out wide to the wing, where Savica has the ball in front of him, kicks it off the ground and furthers it about 30 or 40 metres, but it's Tars back there cleaning up through Arundel. But the kick was smothered, and a kick from Brodie Foster unfortunately hit the post, and another minor score for Buffaloes.
Yeah, nice little interception. He smothered the handball, and then, nice snap on goal, but just couldn't quite squeeze it through.
Chip kick comes in, and Tars bring it out wide. Mosquito out here, Briston and Eldridge there for Buffaloes. Eldridge picks the ball up, is tackled, manages to get a hand pass out. And Briston again hand passes over the top. Eldridge running onto it, has a snapshot for goal, and this one looks pretty good.
It's a nice finish. He's slotted one.
It's been a long time between drinks for Buffaloes, but
very long time between drinks, and one that just makes you feel good about it. Gets the game, towards the end. The game's over, but it's nice to get a nice team goal there towards the end. He's got involved there, and then he's got the ball forward. And nice little finish in the end.
Pass over the top, and he ran onto it and finished it well. So
good to see any issues that Brendan Minkle from Tars might have had with his shoulder are sorted, because he's back out there minus the tape on the shoulder, I noticed as well.
Yeah,
so
maybe the tape was bothering him.
Tape might have been the problem.
So just a goal apiece in this last quarter. We're over 20 minutes in, so not too long to go in this round 3 TIO NTFL match. Umpire Patrick Rawsthorne will come in and throw the ball up in the second game of this, or probably the third game actually, of this umpiring round. Ball goes up, knocked forward by Paul, but it's O'Donnell in there, who's done pretty well in the middle tonight. Had a fair bit of the ball. As Anchor's running onto it, manages to pick up cleanly, hand pass to Minkolk, who goes back inside. O'Donnell again drives it inside 50, and there the mark is taken by Michael Graham, pretty much uncontested, about 30 out, slight angle. So a chance for Tars to get that one back that Buffalo's just scored.
Yeah, nice play in the middle there from their on-ballers, who have all had pretty good nights. You mentioned O'Donnell and Anchors have both been really good in there. And a little bit easy in the forward line again, uncontested mark.
Yeah. Andrew Moore's another one who's spent a bit of time in the middle, but also forward's been pretty handy for him. So kick on the way, he likes the look of it, and so does the goal umpire. And that's Waratah's 12th goal on the board, and they get that lead back out to 57 points. So they've been pretty convincing tonight.
Yeah, solid win, and the game, the scoreboard's pretty accurate on how dominant they've been, I reckon. Like as you said earlier, they've lost the first two, so they really needed a win, and they've come out with some purpose and played a really good game.
Yeah, Buffalo's started the season running on top of the ground and looked like they're taking it all before them. Everyone was talking them up, but brought back down to earth a bit tonight, and some work to do for Matty Campbell.
And again, interestingly, that they're outrunning them, but they've had that one player less on the interchange for the whole game, pretty much.
Ball goes up, Godden again in the middle on the right foot this time. Kicks it almost sideways out to the wing, but some pace off half back there by Cantilla. Threw the ball out of in front of him, but as he was about to be tackled, but manages to regather. Chips inside, and Antonio James chips across as the siren goes to end this round 3 TIO NTFL match at TIO Stadium. A comfortable win for Waratahs. Final score, Waratah 12-12-84, defeating Buffaloes 3-9-27. Thanks for your company tonight, Wilsey. Thanks for listening in, and hope you can all join us again next week.